I've been using the same cheap Amazon top-down setup for years here on the channel now, and while it's done the trick, it's got some limitations and it's a little, as I said, fragile and cheap. So when the opportunity came along to replace it with something better, I jumped all over it. And this is the Logitech Reach camera, the replacement for all my top downs going forward here on the channel. As you can see behind me, it's a lot bigger than what I was working with before, but it's a lot more functional and capable too. So today I'm going to tell you all about the Logitech Reach, go through all the features, its capabilities, and also its downfalls after using it for a little bit of time. Then I'll help you make the decision on whether or not it's the right choice for you. So first, what is the Logitech Reach? It is essentially a camera on a pivot. The arm here is fixed, and this part here slides left and right. And then the head, which has a camera mounted on it, rotates. So what does this mean in layman's terms? Basically, you can move this guy, because it's on its own mobile base, anywhere you want and record whatever's going on below you on said surface. Think top-down shots, this is perfect for that. Or, for example, my wife, she's a creative. Whenever she makes cards for people, thank you cards or happy birthday cards, she draws them by hand. Sometimes she even watercolor paints. She could use the Reach to record that process and create a time lapse if she wanted to share that on social media. Now, before I go through the specs and capabilities of the Reach camera in a bit more detail, let me just state right off the hop that I do not agree with the way Logitech launched this project at all. If you don't know, they launched this product through an Indiegogo campaign. Yeah, a brand like Logitech with billions upon billions of dollars did a Kickstarter. Did they need to do that? Of course not. They could have R&D'd and created this thing without any creator money, any backup funding. They didn't need any of that. And so for that reason, I can't get on board with it. However, I do see the merit in potentially testing the waters to see if there was actually a market for this product before building it. But again, it's a bit scuzzy coming from a company the size of Logitech. They didn't need to go the Kickstarter route. All right, that's the dirty part of this entire product out of the way. Let's go through features. So what sold me on the Reach was twofold. One, it's completely portable. It does come in a desk clamp model, which is what my old Amazon cheap overhead rig did before, which was desk clamp. I found that very limiting. I could only affix it at certain parts of my desk, and the arm didn't pivot all that robustly, so I was pretty limited on what sort of shots I could do. Essentially, I just worked with that mount on the left side of my desk and kept it there for good, and that was my top-down shot for the better part of 2 years. The Reach allows me some more flexibility. I can switch it up from there. What I can do is move the Reach wherever I want with its base, and then because the arm completely pivots wherever you want it to, it's got a lot more flexibility and a lot more reach, for lack of a better word. I can now film everything from the far end of my desk to basically the middle because of the extension of the top arm. And as I mentioned, it can go up and down as well. There's a clip on the backside that you can press and hold to move the arm up and down, so you can go close up to your subject, or you can get as far away as possible. Again, if you're doing a top-down shot, that's probably where you want to leave it. That's where I have it set up right now. I'll include all of that test footage so you can see what I'm talking about and how it all works throughout the video. Now let's talk about the camera itself, which is mounted at the end of the head. The camera is a 1080p HD 60 FPS camera, and it does have a couple of mics. This is a test of the Logitech Reach microphones. I'm probably about 3 feet away from them. Let me know how it sounds down in the comments. But the camera is really the star of the show. That's what this product is all about. It has a premium glass lens, which gives it great looking detail and great clarity, and it has a quote-unquote smart autofocus system built in. I'll talk more about that smart autofocus system in a little bit and how it's not as good as Logitech is hyping it up to be. But Logitech is certainly onto something when they claim in their marketing material that this is a one-of-a-kind product. There isn't really anything else on the market quite like this. At least not something that's as integrated and as seamless and easy to use. Typically with these kind of top-down systems, you have to use your own camera, or what I was doing before was mounting my iPhone to the back of the mount to get the actual video shot. The arm itself was just for positioning. It didn't actually do any of the legwork. The Reach is the arm, the base, and the camera in one package. It is certainly a unique proposition. And because you're able to pivot and adjust everything while you're recording, you can essentially pan, zoom, close up focus on your subject, all without having to stop and take another cut. This panning capability basically gives you a 4.25, 4.3 times zoom function built in to the Reach. So you can go all the way from full extension all the way to minimal extension and zoom in 4 times on your subject for an ultra close-up shot. And of course, the camera is actually fully rotational in of itself on its head, which means you can get essentially a 360-degree angle of a product without stopping your recording, without having to do cuts. It's just very seamless, and there is a nice yellow line that you can match up on the bottom of the camera and the top of the camera so you know when you're back at the original viewing angle. It's just a nice little touch. Logitech was clearly thinking about these things when they built this product. And of course, that base that it comes with is extremely solid. You can knock it all you want. It's just gonna vibrate ever so slightly, and it weighs quite a bit. So don't worry, you're not gonna be able to knock this off your desk by mistake while you're doing your work. It's definitely a lot more stable than what I was working with before. It's pretty cool, and it does work pretty well. As you can see in the sample footage, I'm able to film my top downs just as I was before. You're getting almost the exact same clarity and detail and visual that I was getting with my iPhone mounted on the Amazon arm, but a couple things I've noticed. The quality is definitely higher. That is kind of a given. It does look better, visually speaking, but the focus system that Logitech claims is as so intelligent is where I think this product starts to fall apart. When I did a couple of unboxings using the Reach, I saw quite a bit of choppiness in the focus. I couldn't get very close. For example, when I recorded the unboxing of the Moonswatch Super Blue Moon that I'm wearing right now, it couldn't focus on the face when I brought it closer. Bringing the camera down to get closer to the watch had the exact same effect. It just couldn't seem to lock on to the dial of the watch and get a clear visual. I don't know why. Also, it really had a hard time when my hand was coming in and out of the shot. It kept trying to pull focus away from the product or the object in frame away to my hand. And there was certainly a jarring motion when that transition was happening and that focus was being shifted. Definitely think there's some refinement that needs to be done to the autofocus engine in this product before Logitech can claim it is as smart and capable as they say it is. I do see the potential here because again, the camera itself is very sharp and clear. It's got great detail, but it's just too much when you're supposed to be using this for content creation and drawing or stuff like that. Your hand is going to be in and out of frame, whether you're bringing a new object or you're opening a box or you're getting a new paintbrush or pencil, crayon, something like that. If you're doing a drawing or illustration, if the camera is going to continually pull the focus away from the initial set, it's going to create some really choppy experiences. Now, I don't know what the capability of the Reach is, but my gut feeling would be that this could be probably fixed through a software update. Although there's no companion app right now, I'm sure Logitech could bring one out that would allow OTA updates to be pushed to the Reach and fix problems like this with the autofocus engine over time. So that brings us to the million-dollar question, which is the Reach a product that you need for your setup? For me, doing YouTube videos, product unboxings, and reviews, it's a great alternative to having that old fixed position top-down that I was using before from Amazon. It's a bit more expensive, which I'll talk about in a second, but the clarity and the crispness and the ease of use is just all in all much better. And it frees up my iPhone, so if I want to have another shot, I can use my iPhone as a backup shot or an alternate shot to get all the different angles of the unboxing. Having the camera integrated to the arm is a plus in my mind. Again, I use the example of my wife. She's a creative person. She does a lot of artsy stuff. She could easily use the Reach, plug it into her MacBook Air, and get up and going immediately. She wouldn't need to learn any new software or processes to do it, which I think is ultimately the biggest win when it comes to the Reach, is just how simple and fast and intuitive it is to just take it out of the box, set it up, and start using it. I didn't even have to look at the manual because the box itself has essentially a 3-step quick setup guide printed on the inside of it as soon as you open it. Very clever. It couldn't be any easier to use. The examples that Logitech gives are essentially, creatives, people that are doing online tutorials, people that are teaching online classes. That's sort of the target market they're going for. And I definitely see how this could work for all of those use cases. However, as I said, I think the autofocus has a little bit of a ways to go before it's perfect. If I was watching an online tutorial, I wouldn't want there to be such a jarring transition from a hand to a product if I was trying to learn and take in the information. It would be too disruptive watching that process. But again, I think this can be fixed with time. And this product has literally been out for a couple of weeks. That's it. So there's definitely a lot of time for Logitech to improve the software that's powering the camera. There is no pure desktop companion app for the camera right now. I think it would be a no-brainer for Logitech to incorporate a desktop app, a standalone app of some sort for this product, And that would allow them to not only push updates a lot easier, but give you a little more control and flexibility, not just of the focus engine, but just the quality in general. Because right now what you see is what you get. You can't really change anything. Having some flexibility in how it's controlled, how it's recording, I think that would just go a long way in giving the creator full control of their setup. But overall, what do I think of the Logitech Reach? Well, again, it's only been a couple of weeks, but I do enjoy using this product. It's definitely nicer to have this versus using my iPhone and that old junky Amazon rig for my top-down shots. The clarity can't be disputed, and the quality coming out of the camera can't be disputed. It's also super easy to use and super versatile because it can essentially pivot to your heart's content and you can put it just about anywhere. However, it's got some work to be done before it's a perfect product that I think everybody could get up and use. While I don't think it's perfect, I think it's a pretty cool product. And I think for creatives like myself, it's something that could definitely be useful in your setup. Just take note that it's not cheap. People who backed it through the Indiegogo campaign saved a significant amount of money, but the MSRP when this hits full retail this month, August of 2024, is about $350. So that is a bit of a big ask for small up-and-coming content creators, but if you're already doing online content or tutorials or stuff like that, and you just want to take your quality a little bit higher and up your game, the Reach is definitely something you should consider. But what do you guys think? As always, let's have a conversation about this product down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again soon in the next video.